community sat down to decide this year's winner, they had some difficult decisions to make. This wasn't one of them. To be sure, there were other very worthy candidates, but art had more than a dozen individual nominations, each one more convincing than the other. Each nominated came back to the same basic point. Art is the heart and soul of Sunnyvale Community Garden. As a member of the Sunnyvale Sustainable Gardening Group, has undertook a 2-year process to design Charles Street Gardens, Sunnyvale's first sustainable garden. He was on site every volunteer day during the build and took on the responsibility of planting the nearly 2,000 square foot Sunnyvale Cares beds, which grows fresh food that is donated to the Sunnyvale Hungry. Art now spends up to 20 hours per week tending the food forest, teaching others and harvesting as much as 60 pounds of produce per week for families in need. Art has volunteered tirelessly to serve the Sunnyvale community and has made a difference in the lives of countless members of Sunnyvale community. He is not just the most well-known and well-respected gardener in Sunnyvale, he is Sunnyvale's treasure. Please join me in honoring Art, the 2010 Community Volunteer of the Year.
Hello, folks. I've got just a couple of words, so bear with me. During these times of ecological disasters, oil volcanoes, GMO crops, state-mandated methyl iodine for strawberries, along with criminal negligence and corporation and corruption in high places, the need to care for the earth, care for people, and offer a fair share for everyone is indeed paramount. Yeah. These preceding 3 ethics describe the essence and foundation of permaculture design, which my Food Forest project was based. As Toby Hemingway of Gaia's Garden says, permaculture integrates people into nature's design. He goes on to say that permaculture design provides us with shelter, food, water, income, community, aesthetic, and spiritual fulfillment. These are not just ideals to strive toward, but goals which can exist here in Sunnyvale and the world. It is truly a magnificent gift to be here in Sunnyvale and be part of Sustainable Community Gardens. My real reward has been to interact with the unique folks who comprise Charles Street Gardens, the local garden neighborhood, and SCG. God bless Sunnyvale. Ranked 13th on the top 10 greenest cities in the U.S., and which Dr. Oz claims to be the happiest city in America. Thank you, Sunnyvale. Thank you, Mayor Hamilton, and the City Council, who have made this amazing land at 433 Charles Street available to serve the community. Let me thank my wife, Barbara, who has stood behind me and supported my obsession to grow and share food. Thank you, Barbara. I love you. My daughter, Angelina, my son Donato, my grandchildren Layla and David Jr., I love you. My gratitude extends to all those who met with my wife and I in Josh and Tammy Solom's living room back in 2004 and 2005. Those wonderful citizens sat through multiple meetings while noshing on spelt crackers and guava jam. When Josh said he was expanding the garden to 92 beds, I told him he was out of his mind. Yet, that is the reason our garden is so inclusive and extraordinary. Those dedicated souls who were in sync with Josh's vision of creating a sustainable garden and eventually a sustainable city. A city based on renewable resources, true endurance, diversity, cherishing natural ecosystems, watersheds, and working for the benefit of the 7th generation into the future. Come to think of it, 2010 might be the year to entertain even greater vision for Sunnyvale, and maybe it's time to listen to Josh Salins a little more closely. All of you, and that's all of you with SCG, deserve to be on the stage with me. So let's thank Eric Fulda, Terry Stewart, Carl Sandwich, Strada, Kimberly Yancey, Corinna Shirk, Bob and Lori Withers, Bill Weaver, Janet Sigler, Jeff Dufresne, David Farrell, Matthew Lucero, Phil Keener, Ann and Jim, Sandy and Daryl, Carl Hagee, Victor Cruz, Masood, Cruz, Cyrus, and the Coatney Brody family. If I've left anybody out, I apologize. You know who you are. Please stand up and applaud yourselves. You deserve it. Yes, thanks to all who labored in sync with a vision that has grown into a place of serenity and wonder, along with an abundant organic farm located at 1055 Dunford Way. By the way, that's Peterson School. We have come full circle in our conception of education integrated with the community, side by side the process of growing healthy, nutritious food and helping youth understand that. I'm just an average person who, even with this small achievement, needed to stand on the shoulders of giants. Back in 2006, I was lucky enough to meet Pat Plant, a past Volunteer of the Year, and her husband Greg, along with David Lazarus of the Benevolent Satterberg Foundation. Pat, Greg, and Sunnyvale Cares, the churches, philanthropic, compassionate organizations who feed the homeless and needy, are my inspiration. Others who have influenced me by exhibiting the true spirit of volunteerism are people like Dan Hoffman, also a Volunteer of the Year, Lubov Sheep, William Muller, Rebecca Jepson of Full Circle Farm, the Santa Clara Master Gardeners. If you're here, anybody, Donna Perez, who took on the leadership role of Sunnyvale Cares, Tanya Pereira, Vince McCaffrey of St. Vincent de Paul, who distribute the food grown at the food forest, people like Michael Rose, who work tirelessly with their neighborhood association and their neighborhood. All these selfless individuals have been my motivation, since they reflect this Chinese proverb daily. When someone shares something of value with you and you benefit from it, you have a moral obligation to share it with others. Yes, it's been a pleasure to grow organic produce, edible perennials, and get a chance to utilize the concept of forest gardening pioneered by Robert Hart. Yes, it's been a rare opportunity to incorporate permaculture principles of sustainability. But for me, the real gratitude and gratification comes with working with a community of gardeners, volunteers who have made Charles Street Garden a living treasure, a grove of instructional resources, and a model for more community gardens here in Sunnyvale and the rest of the planet. Yeah. In conclusion to this long speech, a quote from Margaret Reed: "Never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has."
Yeah, Art.
It's now my pleasure to announce